Hey Misfits, welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm Shawnicorn of Shawnicorn Mindset Coaching, a trauma recovery coach. I'm certified health and life coach, trauma-informed care practitioner, and a therapeutic arts facilitator. And today is Transmutation Tuesday. And the theme this week is nervous system care as self-love. What nervous system care as self-love means to me, beyond buzzwords, is making sure that you are soothing the system. You are keeping the body not only calm, but running optimally. If you look at yourself like a computer, we have systems just like them. When we take care of the bugs, update when we need to, and clean it up when we need to, the system runs wonderfully. It's the same with nervous system care. When you're showing yourself that kind of love, your nervous system runs at its most optimal point. So what did I used to think was wrong with me that I now understand was nervous system overwhelm? I couldn't shut up. I couldn't sit still. I had diarrhea of the mouth. I literally could not shut the fuck up. That was me being overly anxious and overwhelmed. It made me a chatty Cathy. And honestly, I think that's what a lot of people's chattiness actually is. Not everyone, yet for many people, that nonstop talking may very well be anxiety. I thought I was the only one who wasn't capable of dealing with big feelings that I had. And now I understand that wasn't that at all. My nervous system was overwhelmed, and there was no way to deal with those feelings, especially because no one ever taught me how. So what are the common signs of nervous system overwhelm that people mistake for laziness, avoidance, lack of discipline, or being bad at life? For me, it was laziness, avoidance, and lack of discipline. I genuinely thought that I was a big old lazy piece of shit. I thought that I had no discipline, that I was incapable of taking care of myself. What I finally realized is that I was overwhelmed. And I didn't love myself because I didn't know how to take care of myself. Not truly. And when I understood that I was never taught those skills, I let myself off the hook. Because how the fuck are you supposed to know something you were never taught? That is not our fault. That's not a cop-out. It's genuinely not our fault. If you weren't taught this growing up, how are you supposed to know? So yeah, let yourself off the hook. More than likely, you weren't taught this shit either. What are we taught self-love looks like that actually ignores trauma in the nervous system? So I don't really know how to answer that cleanly, yet I do know this. Pushing through, staying strong, forcing positivity, all of that kept me dysregulated. Because pushing through and forcing positivity doesn't regulate you, it forces more dysregulation. It keeps you stuck in a distorted relationship with yourself and with life. So what shifted when I stopped trying to fix myself and started listening to my body? I realized I didn't need fixing. I needed love. I needed guidance. I needed someone to actually give a shit. So I became that person. I became the one who cared. I became the one who loved me. Because it didn't feel like anyone outside of me was doing that. So when I started listening to my body, like really listening, life got so much easier. Instead of panicking, I started asking questions. Why am I anxious right now? Why am I tense? Why can't I shut the fuck up all of a sudden? What's actually going on? For me, anxiety also shows up in temperature changes in my body. I get extremely hot or extremely cold when I'm anxious. Yes, menopause played a role for a while, yet the anxiety still does this too. If I'm indoors with a coat on and suddenly feel short of breath, I know I'm getting anxious. If I don't remove heat, I will spiral. So now I know. Jacket off, hat off, unzip, cool the body, because if I don't, it can send me into an anxiety attack. Public places used to be very hard for me. Now I know the signs early enough to intervene. So what happened in my healing only after my nervous system felt safer? Well, I started trusting people again. I stopped keeping everybody at arm's length. I finally understood that not all people are horrible. Now, where most of the people in my life were before, my goodness, most of the people in my life were horrible prior. Very. That's why I don't associate with many people from my past. I went from over like 1,000 people in my Facebook, my personal Facebook page, to a couple hundred, and all that happened. I think it's back up to like 600 and something. So obviously, yeah. Anyway, my life got better when I shrink it down for a while because I needed to get rid of the toxicity. Safety changed everything. So what didn't move forward until regulation came first? Well, that would be for me feeling safe. You cannot feel safe if you're not regulated. Even long after I actually was safe, my body still didn't feel safe. My therapist once told me, maybe you need to remind yourself that you're safe. So I did. I used self-speak regularly. I'm safe. I'm okay. I'm good. We're solid. And yes, often I would pet myself when I said this because we are overwhelmed and we are overstimulated. We need to calm. I'm calm. You're safe. You're okay. We're solid. We're good. And now I don't have to do this nearly as often. Yet when the anxiety pops up without a clear reason, I go right back to that because self-speak works. So what helped calm my nervous system enough to even start healing? Positive self-speak, consistent self-talk, telling myself I'm safe, I'm warm, I'm dry. Yes, part of that comes from trauma, and part of it comes from living in a camper with leaks. So self-speak grounded me. And here's the thing, if something negative is coming through your mind nonstop, that's not your higher self. That's depression. That's dysregulation. You are allowed to interrupt that. For me, it started with cancel. Then it became, hell no. Whatever word you need, use it. Where you start with nervous system care depends on your history, your capacity, and how safe your body feels right now. That's why trauma work is not one size fits all. Just because something worked for me does not mean that it'll work for you. And that doesn't mean that you're broken. Not at all. It means you're human. So what I want people to understand about nervous system care and self-love is this. There is nothing wrong with you. You weren't taught to see yourself as a whole ass being with emotions, needs, and a body that talks to you. So that's what I'm here for. To help people reconnect to themselves and find their way back. The permission I want to leave you with this week is this. It's okay to put yourself first. It is not selfish. It is self-love. It will feel selfish at first, especially if toxic people taught you that your needs don't matter. But every single one of us needs to put ourselves first, even parents, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. And to anyone who feels behind, overwhelmed, or discouraged, you're right on time. I figured this shit out in my late 40s. I'm 50 now. So if you're in your 30s, 20s, look how much earlier you're going to get here. That's fucking beautiful. It doesn't matter how old you are. You can start at 93. You can start at 103. And if you do, your final years, months, days can be the most beautiful of your life. I've been living the most beautiful life since I started this healing journey and stepped away from those toxic people. And I want that for everyone. And if you made it this far, I just realized how long this is. It's over 13 minutes. Thank you so much, Misfits. I appreciate you. If this resonated with you at all, could you please do the things, hit the buttons, and maybe comment. If you can't muster up anything more than me too, that works as well. I love you. Take care.